was up there, but not too bad today. Almost there. As you get to the top, it gets a little more narrow with each section, so he knows he's getting close. I'm sure his legs are reminding him he's getting close too. He made it. Give a big clap. Let me hear it. Well, while he catches his breath, how about we go out and take a picture? Everybody come out, we're going to stop the traffic, so everybody stays. I'm going to wait. Let the firefighters stop the traffic. We're going to take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Picture, picture, picture. Then... Alright, I'm Justin, I'm the fire chief in Easton, and our firefighters here are going to show you what happens if we go to a car accident and we can't open the door. So this car is in pretty good shape because we had it donated to us before it went to the junkyard. But if you were to envision it being damaged and we can't open the door, we can't get you out of your seat if you were hurt, we're going to show you how our tools can make it happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to start right out today. The first thing we have to do is stabilize the vehicle so it can't roll away. There's some YouTube videos of that from other fire departments, not this one, that when you start working on it, it rolls away on you. And this happens to be a manual, I believe, so it can do that. So the first thing we have to do is stabilize it, which involves sometimes various ways of doing it. Taking the tires, which means we pop the tires and we lower the car onto different types of cribbing, which is wood, typically, or plastic cribbing that's designed to support the vehicle like a jack stand if you work on cars. So our crew is going to start with that. We're going to take the tires. If you like to break things, being a firefighter is a good profession. Alright, you can get away with breaking stuff and not be in trouble. At the right time, of course. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is gain access to the patient compartment where you sit. Okay, so where you drive, we got to get in there. So what we do is, now you have to bear with us, we have a little bit of the fact that this isn't actually involved in a car accident, but what we would do is we would take a window out, put a sheet over the person to protect them from the flying glass. So we have firefighter Burnaby doing that now. Now that person's protected. If they were seriously injured, we would try to get in there. We would take a piece of glass out and slide a firefighter in there to stop working on them, providing medical care right out the gate. So now we're going to take the windows out. So the front window stays together. It's laminated, so it stays together. And you can see we have a special tool that cuts that out. Firefighter Bernie's using that tool. If that tool quit, we always have a plan B. We can use an axe, various tools, sawzalls. We always have a plan B and C. Now the side windows, they're different. They'll shatter just like that. They have perfect timing. They'll shatter like that. They don't stay together like the front window. They're not laminated like this front window. So when we shatter the side window, we have to be real careful that we have the person covered with a sheet, protect them. So they're showing you another method that works.
Battery died.
That's all right. It happens. So sometimes our tools, they're battery powered and they die, and we always have a plan B. And these gentlemen did a great job adapting and getting that windshield out quickly. So now what's happening on the passenger side, they're using tools to gain access to the hinge points and where the door latches, the door latch, so that we can pry it open and get inside that car. So by squeezing the top of the door like they did a minute ago, it creates an area to fit the tool in on the side. So now what will happen is they're going to go in there, and pry that door open. So what's interesting is many of these cars have soft metal on the doors. They're designed to crumple. So when they're designed to crumple, what happens with that is our tools that spread them open rip the metal like a can. It doesn't really force the door open. The real reinforced part is inside the door, and that's what we're trying to get access to. So we're always fighting with the door skin, the outside layer, peeling while we're trying to get into the middle. So that's what they're working on now. And once they get a good, we call it a purchase, once they get a good point where they can brace that tool, that door is going to come right open. So while we're doing that, what's happening is we have our ambulance crew coming in from the side over here, so they can come on up. Come right in here, they have their stretcher, they're getting ready to take the patient out of the car. So they're going to come right up over here and stage to get ready. Has anybody heard of the Jaws of Life before? You haven't, this is what you see in here. And there it is, see how it just popped open? They finally got into where that pin is and they were able to pop it open. So now what they're going to do is they're going to take that door right off. So there's multiple ways to do this. So now what we're going to do is put it up on the hinge point where the door pivots. And they're going to take that spreader and they're going to spread the hinge off the door. Interestingly, the hinge is the strongest point. We're actually trying to rip the bolts out of the side of the car. That's the weakest point. So we don't actually try to spread open the hinge. We try to rip the bolts out of the side of the car. Now these tools aren't light. They're about 50 to 60 pounds each. And after a while of carrying them, that's why we put 2 firefighters on it whenever possible. We try to do everything in pairs, 4 or 5 firefighters sometimes for a single task. Does anybody want to see this car become a convertible? That's coming. This car will be a convertible when it's over. There'll be no roof on it. Alright, so now we have the door off. We're going to go to the other side, do the same thing. Alright, so we're going to cut the driver's door open because we need to get access to both sides to get the person out. We can't just do it from one side sometimes. So this door I left out. Just by squeezing it, it released the pin from the side of the door and it opens. Sometimes we get lucky. Sometimes we don't. They fought with that other side more. This one just popped open. Now they'll take the door right off the hinge. So you can see the back window's gone now. And we're beginning work on taking the roof right off the car. So this tool on this side is called a cutter. They can cut solid steel, very hard steel. It's a very slow but very, very powerful tool. If you watch, the firefighter lever is just waiting and it's going to go right through. And there we go, we're almost there.
the other side.
So if you want to learn a little something about cars, we have names for these points in the car. This point right here is called the A post, the alphabet. It's the front of the car. That's the A post. Right here is the B post. That's the middle post. And the back one, the firefighter level's working on now, is the C post. So that way we know what we're talking about. Go to the driver's side and cut the A post. Go to the passenger side and cut the B post. You know what these items are called. So now we have the patient out. So now what we're going to simulate now is if we had somebody in the back seat. Well, now we got to get to them, and that's a problem. So we're going to take that hood right off, the roof right off. And that roof's going to come right off. So you can imagine this car had 4 people in it. We have our hands full between needing more ambulances, more stretchers, more firefighters. It becomes more complicated as the more damage and the more people that are involved. If anybody's looking for a good deal on a Mitsubishi Eclipse, we're going to have one for you very shortly. It's a fixer-upper. Might have a salvage title now. No water damage. So we're getting close now to having this roof right off the car. So there are a lot of hazards for us on these cars. An example that firefighter level noticed, these pistons, if we cut these or release them with our tool by accident, they'll shoot off with the force to take our knees out, puncture our body. In the hoods, there are shock absorbers in hoods that if we get them with a certain tool, they can release and do the same thing and take us right out the legs. It's happened to many firefighters. Airbags are a similar problem. We have to be careful when we get into work on a patient. The airbags might still be ready to go and pop. Even if we disconnect the battery, that can still happen. Okay, so we're going to roll that roof right back. And if we have somebody in the back seat right here, you'd be able to access them very nice. If we had people in both seats, what we would do is we'd take a Sawzall and we'd cut these clean so that we could take it straight up. And we'd take a bunch of firefighters around and lift it straight up so there's no chance of hurting anybody in the back seat. So there's multiple ways of doing it depending upon who's there, what's there, what kind of car it is. So now you've seen us take the tires out to stabilize it, the doors off to get to the front passengers. If this was a forward door, we could do the same thing for the back doors, but in this case, it's not. So we go for the roof to get to access to the back passengers. We'll finish cutting that door off for good measure. Who thought that was pretty cool? Let's give these firefighters a big round of applause. That was a lot of work. It's hard. Now I will tell you that if you thought this was cool, if you could stay, if you're here at 1 o'clock, we're going to burn a real fire out behind the station that is really impressive. So if you're here at 1 o'clock, we're going to be in the back of the station. Thank you. This is real fire. So if smoke is an issue for anybody, health-wise, you don't want to be right in front. Maybe go back further, go off to the side, so everybody's warned that there's going to be smoke, there's going to be fire. How many of you think you're going to feel the heat back here? You're probably going to feel the heat. So what is this exactly? So this is a demonstration on the room on the left has no sprinklers in it. The room on the right has a sprinkler head in the middle. I got it. Who lost it? Here we are. So we are going to show you the difference in two rooms as to how a sprinkler head makes a difference. It's something I'm going to say 4 or 5 different times easily. Not all of us have sprinklers, right? So is there something else you can do to keep yourself safe when you're sleeping? Anybody know? What do you think? Yeah, this is the sprinklers. And then, but what if you don't have sprinklers? What can you do? What's one thing every bedroom usually has? It opens and closes. Anybody know? Not the closet. A door. I heard it. A door. I will tell you, there are so many videos online that demonstrate this. Closing your bedroom door when you sleep, whether you're an adult or you're a child, can keep you safe. It will keep the fire out. It will keep the smoke out. It will buy us time if we have to rescue you. If you open the door to a bedroom while you sleep, it invites the fire and the smoking because it acts like a chimney. It's going to go right in there. So we always encourage people, all of my doors in my house are closed when they sleep. I've got a 2-year-old, so I got my baby monitor so I can see and hear what's going on. I know we want to hear what's going on with our kids, but make sure you have good working smoke detectors. That's your first defense. Close the door in case there's a fire to give yourself the time you need to escape. And if you are building, you can add these sprinklers to your home if you're building. And if you live in a condo or larger apartment complexes, they typically have sprinklers. And you will have the benefit of the room on the right. And you will see a big difference between them. So what's going to happen is we've done our best to create these rooms. They're simulated. So we had to find a way to set them on fire for you. We're going to do that. The big difference is we're going to show you when your room and contents burn versus when they don't. So bear with us getting it going, but you're going to see the difference once it does. We're going to have our firefighters here to put them out, and you're going to see how much less effort there is to put them out once that happens. So give us just a couple minutes to finish setting up, and we're going to get started. All right, we're going to get the last couple people through. We're going to close it off. Keep everybody safe. All right, so here's what we're doing to keep you safe. These firefighters here will put it out when it finally gets, when the plexiglass lets go, it's going to melt. Then they're going to go put it out. When that plexiglass melts, you're going to see a lot of fire come out. That's their job, to put it out. These firefighters back them up if something goes wrong with their hose. We always do it in 2, but also they're here to protect all of you. If the heat were to get too strong, they have the ability with their hose line to spray water up in a big protective fog pattern to get that heat away from you, to protect you. So we want to keep everybody safe, and we think about these things before we do it. So I'm going to move my speaker a little bit so that doesn't burn up. All right, can you all hear me still? All right, so we're going to get ready to light this thing, and I'm going to time it and call out some of the times for you to see, because you're going to be surprised, if this cooperates with us, how these times are very quick. So we're going to call for the ignition. So I'm going to go back here so I know when to start the time, because we have one of our firefighters lighting it for us. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go. All right, so does anybody see the smoke yet? Let's see how long it takes the smoke detector to go off. 10 seconds in. 17 seconds for the smoke detector. 17 seconds. You can still get out of this and be okay. This fire is going to go really strong, really fast. All right, so we're 35 seconds in. $50 seconds. So if you have smoke detectors that call us automatically in your home, we will be getting notified right about now. Right about now, we'll be starting to get a notification and getting ready to head to our trucks. We're about 1 minute and 12 seconds in. Our dispatch center just is getting the phone call asking what's going on. See how the fire's licking the ceilings now? There's a lot of heat up inside that plexiglass. You wouldn't know it, but there's over 1,000 degrees up inside there right now. You can see the plexiglass starting to form. We're 1 minute and 45 seconds in. Our alarms at the fire station might just be going off, maybe still not yet. Depends how fast we get called. So one of the things that's hard for us is that if everything in that room reaches the same temperature, it all ignites at the same time. That's called a flash, and that's where we get hurt. And we have to be very careful with that. You can see how the heat's spreading to the mattress now? This is real world. This is what's in your homes. Here we go. See how everything's starting to flash? Feel the heat? Get ready. Here it goes. Feel that heat? There you go. Hit it. To ignite everything in the room. Alright, so now we go into a phase called overhaul. We put the fire out, now we overhaul it. That's when we go in and just make sure it's out, make sure it's not going to catch on fire again. And we're going to get ready to do the second one. I will tell you that you will be disappointed by the second one. So now what we're going to do, so that one cooperated, that was pretty interesting, huh? Who liked that? So what did we learn from that? That we're going to have working smoke detectors? Because it's 17 seconds that thing went off, right? 17 seconds. You need them in your bedroom and outside your bedroom. But also close your door, because I'll tell you what, if we had a door between these two, that fire would have gone right over and burned out of the room. And if we close the door, that room would still look like it is for now until we get there. You've got to close your doors. It can save your life. Now we're going to light this and show you what a sprinkler head can do. So whenever you're in a store, in your home, wherever you see them, when you look up, they're up there. This is what they do. So how many people think that they just all go off at once? So that only happens in very few buildings. That's actually like something you see on TV. only the sprinkler head that's above the fire goes off. The best firefighters outside of your Easton firefighters are the sprinkler heads at Easton, because they find the fire first. They know where the fire is. So we find the fire, we get to a fire with the sprinkler system's there, we'll actually use the fire engine to pump into the sprinkler system to support it, because it's holding that fire until we can get there to put it out. So what we're going to do now, where's my speaker? You do not want to burn up your taxpayer dollars in the speaker. Okay, so we're going to start the time again. We're going to start the time again. We're going to coordinate with our lighter in the back and get ready to start it. I'm going to go in the back to time it. Is everybody ready? All right. Okay, we're lit. Let's see how it goes. The time's ticking. We had 17 seconds on the last smoke detector. Let's see what this one does. Here we go. There's the smoke detector. 14 seconds. And at 18 seconds, that sprinkler head just popped. And we're going to let that go, because that's going to go until we get there to finish the job. So now we get there, let's fast forward. We get there, right? Now we're going to have our firefighter, okay, turn off the valve, the sprinkler for us. Now we get there, we're going to finish the job and make sure it's all out. And just like that, that fire's out. Less than 30 seconds. What'd you think? Not as impressive, but pretty impressive for that sprinkler head, right? That was only 10 seconds behind the smoke detector and put that fire out. They're actually just looking for work right now in there, so they look like they're doing something. That's all they're doing. They're trying. There's no fire in there anymore. Let's give them all a big round of applause. So remember, sprinklers can save your life, but you can all have access to smoke detectors and bedroom doors. You all have those. Please use them, check them, and close them. Go back and enjoy. We'll get the hose prop going for you shortly again, okay? Thank you, everybody.